What's up, everybody? Welcome back to my channel. Today we are in El Paso, Texas at, man, Ascarate Park. I don't know. I don't know how to pronounce it. I've never been here before. It's the only one that I could find that was close to where we're staying at the hotel. But, as you can see with El Paso, there's not very much grass. And since there's not a lot of grass, there's not a lot of places to fish. Not a lot of ponds or lakes nearby. But I did find this one, excuse the sun. I did find this one online. I looked it up, watched some videos on it, and it does appear to be pretty good for bass. I know they stock it with trout. I haven't seen very many videos on catfish and stuff, but we're gonna give that a try and see what we can find. So here's the lake. It's a pretty good size. It's a lot bigger than Clear Pond that we go to, and College Pond too. So it looks like we got about 20 feet of vegetation. It looks like maybe about 2 feet deep for here, and then it drops off. Like I said, it's pretty big. It's a good size. So we're gonna kind of use bait as well as artificial lures. My daughter Kathy right there is gonna be using a frog. Carlitos is going for bass and catfish, so he's using one of both. The way I have mine set up right now, I just have 2-ounce pyramid weight. I have a larger hook that I'm going to put a hot dog on, and then I have a smaller hook right here that I'm going to put a worm on. Since they do stock it with trout, I may change to like a salmon egg, or I also have the power bait. It's like almost like Play-Doh, like a dough bait. I may switch up to that one just depending on what we're seeing. We've never fished this lake before. I know they have bass, trout, and catfish, so we're going to try what we've tried at home. Hopefully we can get something with that. If not, then we learn. We're like, maybe try something next time. I do have some bass lures. I have some soft plastics. Hopefully that can work. If I'm not getting any bites off the bait, then I'll try the lures. So let me get set up, throw it out, and then we'll come back in a minute, hopefully with a fish. Be back in a second. Kathy's been over there getting hung up on vegetation for pretty much every single cast that she's thrown. Rookies, I guess. Let's see how she casts this one. Can she do it? Or is she gonna snap my line? Let's see. She thinks she knows what she's doing. Let's look. So she opens her bail and cast. Oh, that's a better one. So she's right there. So we'll see. I'll pull mine in. I doubt that hot dog is still on there just because it gets flung off. The worm is probably still on there. Look, see, I told you. Every freaking cast. It's like fishing with a toddler. It's like you gotta pull it, stand it straight up. So when you get hung up, so this is what you do, and then she'll go ahead and pull straight back. Hopefully, no, up like this, like that, and it comes loose. Bam. Sometimes when you get caught up, it's better that you move. Like if I'm casting straight out this way and I'm pulling towards this way to loosen it, if it's not loosening up, then what you'll do is come to the side so that you're pulling from a 45-degree angle and pull that way. Sometimes if there's a branch or something that's caught on there, just by pulling it from a different angle, it'll free up. Worst case, if you can't get that line free, if it's just not, at least she's hung up again. If it's just not coming loose, then you pop it. So if you're popping it with either fluorocarbon or mono, you can probably just grab the line and then keep your spool from moving if you have a spinning rod, and then just pull it. If you have braid, you never ever want to do that with braid. You'll cut your fingers for real. What I'll probably do is I'll grab like a stick, a twig, a rock even, just something that you can basically, and I'll show y'all, I'll get stuck here on purpose in a little bit. So you'll do that. You'll wrap it around the twig just so it's not wrapped around your hand, and you'll pull. And usually with braid, depending on what kind you have, if you have a really strong braid, it's going to break that twig loose or that grass or whatever you're stuck on, unless it's a rock. If you're fishing with the weight at the very bottom, the weight will break off and you'll still have your hook. So it just depends. If your hook's on the bottom, the hook can break and you'll still keep your weight. So it really just depends on what's on the bottom. Right now we're seeing some rocks and a little bit of vegetation. That's what we're getting stuck on, is the vegetation, because anytime she pulls back, it finally releases, and then there's a bunch of crap on the hook. So each each body of water is going to be different. You just got to keep trying it out till you get something that works. Right now they're not biting off of the hot dogs or the worms. I'm going to throw deeper. If that doesn't work, I may switch it up some plastics just to see if there's any bass that are out right now. And if not, then whatever. I mean, it's not too hot. It's in a freaking desert. I swear to God, we got here. It's 104 degrees. And we're traveling in the freaking truck, and it's nice and air conditioned and everything. We get out to get gas, and as soon as you open that door, freaking heat wave just hits you. And if you've ever been one of those kind of heats where you can't breathe, you're like, that's what it was like. It like straight up hit you in the face. So Fort Worth, yeah, we're used to 100-degree weather, but out here is just different. It's just a dry heat. Right now it's like 87 degrees, so it picked up 10 degrees in the past 30 minutes, but it's still bearable. I mean, the shade, of course, is going to be nicer, but I mean, we're kind of limited here. There's not really much we can fish from. We do have these benches, but I'm not sitting on the benches. We're just standing up or actually standing out of the truck. It's just more desirable that way. So let me go ahead and check them, throw them back out again. We'll be back in a second. So one thing that I don't like about bank fishing is for your rod holders, you're kind of depending on that ground being soft enough to push in. And some places you get where there's ground that's so compact or there's so many rocks as you can't put them in, and it sucks because then you're trying to figure out how to sand it up. So sometimes you can use rocks to perch it up. So what I'm doing here, I'm just using my bag to kind of hold the rod tip up into the air. And then, so yeah, if there's a big fish on here, he'd grab it and he'd pull it in there. But what I have is my bait clicker on, which is this thing right here in the very back, on and off. And what that does is if I do get a fish, kind of like a drag, it allows that line to come out without without causing tension and pulling my pole into the water. So that's, I don't know if you can hear that, but that clicking that you're hearing, that's loud enough for me to be able to tell that there's something there if I'm standing, even 10, 15 feet away. So I'll do that. And then when and if I do get something, I'll hear the clicking, turn off the bait clicker, or just start reeling in and it'll turn off. And then I can reel it in. So Carlitos is doing the same thing with his bag over here. He had his pole kind of perched up off of it. Kathy is perched up on the rocks, scared to death that she's gonna fall. But so far so good. Maybe we should have brought her a life vest just in case. There's some swimmies. Throw it! Look. Right there. 10 feet. It went about 10 feet out. So we moved yet again. This is the third spot? Yep. Third spot? Third spot we've tried. Not seeing anybody catch anything. This right here earlier was filled with people fishing. When we came by, there's nothing there. They left. There was an old gentleman over here with about 3 or 4 poles. It looks like he left. We haven't seen anybody catch anything. So we'll give this place a try, maybe 30 minutes. We might move to one other spot. If not, we'll just call it quits for the day. At sun, we're at 92 degrees. It's 10 o'clock in the morning. It shouldn't be 92 degrees, 10 o'clock in the goddamn morning. But we're in El Paso. So we'll see. We got to catch something. Hey, we're by the fountain over here. We got to catch something. If not, goddamn, I'm gonna start chunking rocks. So sure enough, I got stuck, and so I have that fluorocarbon leader on there, and that's probably gonna pop. So I have my braid here. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take a stick. For this one, I'm gonna double it just because I don't want it to break. For a regular line, you'll just, you can wrap your hand around like that, and then just pull straight. The thing with braid is you're going to cut yourself before that line pops, I guarantee you. So let me switch over this way. So what I'll do, and I hope it's showing up, I'll take that line and wrap it around the stick several times like this. And then I'm going to have to go off camera because what I'm going to do is walk backwards. It'll tighten and then pop. If you don't hold the line and you rely on the spool to keep it from moving, that line is going to dig deeper in there. So when you go to cast the next time, it's going to get stuck and you're going to pop your line and you'll throw off your bait or whatever. So anytime you have braid and you get hung up, if pulling the pole up isn't helping, you're going to have to wrap it with something. You could cut it, but you're cutting it right here and you're losing a good 30, 40 feet of line. So the best way, like I said, wrap it with something, You're gonna hold it steady and then just keep walking backwards till it pops. The good thing about braid is when it pops, it doesn't spring back at you like mono and fluorocarbon might pop back at you. It'll just fall. So we'll just do that real quick. I'm going back, 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 back. It's giving some. It's giving more. It's pulling something. God dang. It popped. So, and of course it popped right where the knot was. So this is the knot where I had the braid going to the fluorocarbon, and that's where it popped. So I mean, that's fine. So now we're gonna throw in some new line, put on some hooks, and we're gonna try for some trout. We saw about three trout just swimming right here. We've been going for catfish and bass, so we're gonna switch over to trout real quick. I have the dough bait and I have the salmon eggs. We're gonna try those out, see if we can catch something. We will see. It's right there, dude. Oh, the other one went to it quick.
Hey, what up?
God dang it.
Oh, he's gonna get it. He got it.
No, he hit it. Oh, it's by his mouth. He hit it and he dropped it. I got him.
Dang. Finally.
Oh. Oh, there's a step. That's a bass, dude. We're over here thinking these are freaking trout.
Dang, I know, I thought they were trout too.
Ah, settle down, dude. Ah. Jesus Christ. Ah. So he's full of dirt. It's a little baby bass. We're over here thinking they were trout because they're so slender, they're so streamlined. Usually the trout are like that, but I'm looking at the colors, I'm like, that does not look like a trout. I was like, well, we'll keep throwing them and throwing them. So we threw it out, and sure enough, it's a little bass. So for the bass, it's okay to grab them like this by the lip. Sometimes you see somebody twist them this way. Don't do that because you'll pop their jaw, you'll break it. If you have to lift them that way, lift their whole body, not just them by their lip. But it's okay to hold them like this. So we didn't get skunked. We got one fish. So what we're doing is we're just throwing just a hook with a worm on it. No weights, no floats, no nothing, because we can actually see them right here. So we're throwing it out, and we're throwing it right on top of them. And then sometimes they'll look at it, it's on the fall that they're hitting. They're not hitting when it's just laying there. It's on the fall. When it's falling is when they hit it. So now that we know what they're doing, they're going for worms, they're going shallow, and they're going on the fall. So now we can kind of change what we're doing to match that. So hopefully we'll catch another one. Hopefully Cadiz will get one, we'll see. All right, everybody, so we're gonna call it quits. We've been here for about 3 hours really. It's 12 o'clock. Sorry for the sniffles. It's about 100 degrees outside, but we're at least in the shade. We didn't get skunked. We got one small bass that you saw, but we did learn some things. First thing is, don't go fishing in the afternoon in El Paso. It's freaking hot. So next time we come, if we go fishing again, we'll go fishing earlier. The bass are in the shallows. They're going for worms, naturally falling. So even I think a Senko, like a 6-inch Senko, soft bait would work too because of the fall rate on those as well. So if you're not using bait, I think that lure would have been good because they were hitting them right here. We couldn't get the rest of it on. It just got too hot and then it quit biting. So next video, we're gonna do chicken livers. That's one of those old school baits that do really, really good, but they're really hard to fish with. So there's certain types of ways you can fish with them. I'll kind of share with you the way I've done them, the way I do them now, to where it's not just filleting off the hook. So anyway, thanks for watching. Please click like, subscribe, click that bell notification right here. Bing! And I'll try and do that next video this next weekend. Like I said, we have the graduation this weekend in El Paso, so nothing else here. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, I think we'll have a little bit better luck with the chicken livers over there than we did with the worms over here, just because I'm not used to this climate. I'm not used to how to fish this area. So anyway, no excuses. We did okay. We caught one fish, so I'm happy. So we'll see y'all next time. God bless.